Randall Hughes with God Glorified, and we're commenting on today's reading from Proverbs chapter 13 through chapter 16. And there's several themes that repeated themselves in today's reading, that just as they have every day, really, they're intermingled with here. There's all different kinds of things. There's something I probably want to mention this. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited in anything I say ever. But there are times you need to tell your kids you can't play in the street, you can't touch a hot stove. There's things you got to give warnings. And it said, correcting, he that correcteth not a son is hates his son. And so you've got to do your best to try to direct them, try to guide your children. And so we live in a world where correction is seen as hatred. And we just read about that. Reprove a fool and he'll hate you. Yeah. And so, but we've talked about pride several times in our readings in Proverbs, and it said in our reading today that pride brings destruction. It came through a few different times that it spoke of pride. There's another key thing that I was wanting to mention is anger. But in the line of pride in chapter 16, verse 5, it said, everyone that is pride in heart, it is abomination to Yahweh. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. And in our reading, I believe it was yesterday's reading, we had the 7 sins, the 7 things that God hates, of which pride is the number one thing that is an abomination to God. And so the month of June is Pride Month. I don't know what more I need to say. What is more prideful than to tell God that he messed up in the way that he made someone? That their creator should have made them a different gender, should have made them differently than what he did, instead of accepting what God has made and doing the best we can with the talents and giftings God has given us to bloom where we're planted and to make the most. And so a challenge that we see in our world today. Another thing that was a theme in our reading today that has come up as well different times, and it's something that I believe I've worked on. I'm not saying I've got it perfect, but anger. Chapter 14, verse 17, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. And so verse 29, he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. And there was the passage in 16, verse 32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. And with pride, verse 18 of 16, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And so some things that we need to consider and remember. Anger, though, controlling your spirit, controlling your emotions. I was born with red hair. It's kind of gotten lighter through the years, and but I had the stereotypical temper of a redhead, and I was small build. And so maybe that helped me to learn to control my temper, because it was that or die. I don't know. I had a mouth that would run. And so both of there's things here as I'm reading that I'm going, there are things that I began to take control of. I don't know how old I was or how old my boys were. And we were playing a video game. And it was probably Madden or NCAA, I don't remember what it was. It seemed like it was a football game, EA sport game. And we were playing, and I don't remember if I fumbled. I don't remember if I had a penalty. There was something that really the player has no control over. And I expressed some anger about that. And one of my boys said, "That's the first time we've ever seen Dad mad." And I took some solace in that. Unfortunately, they've seen me angry many times since then, and frequently it was with them and their actions that caused some anger on my part and correction. But to control your spirit, it was something that I had to work. Believe me, any of these things we're talking about, it goes back to the 4 chairs, the simple, the wise, or the fool and the scorner. uh, the unwise. And so the various chairs, at any rate, we'll be in the simple chair for periods of time. We'll all experience times that we have to go through these, and there may be different times in life that situations and things, like I mentioned in one of the videos, I think that the last month or so was just crazy. In fact, this last week it was very crazy as well. I was slow in getting videos together, and it was just because so many other things happening in my life. We were on the road for 14 hours in 2 days, and traveled to spend some time with some great family members of ours that were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. And they've been such a blessing to my family, and just wonderful people, and wanted to be there to honor them. And it was the right thing to do. And I should have found a better way to make some videos during the 14 hours I was driving. Should have done something to get things together a little better, to stay on track. It's really the first time this year that I believe that I've ever not gotten it at least up on the day that I had. And so I apologize to those that are reading with me. I will do my very best to try not to let that happen again. And so at any rate, our comments on anger and pride and self-control. So to learn to stay in your lane, to do things the right way, to control your spirit, and not to get proud. And I love people. I have relatives in all walks of life, and I love them and pray for them. And at the same time, pray for myself, not to be tempted, not to fail. And there's all the different things that are coming at us, whether it's the pride of life, the lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, all the various things that happen. Life happens fast. And so to stay on track is the challenge. Control your spirit. Not to get puffed up when things go well. Not to be moderate in all things. And so that's our words for today, our comments for today. I pray that you're blessed by the reading of His Word, and in some way by the words that we share. God bless you.